Evening, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I've got a few to get through this week. The first one is this one. Now, I watched this last week and I promised I'd say a few words about it. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is Tarantino's latest. Stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, I believe Damian Lewis is in there. Absolutely cracking film. Almost perfection, I would say. It's a difficult movie to describe. It's not really, it's not a thriller, it's not a comedy. It is Tarantino. What more can you say? Leonardo DiCaprio plays Rick Dalton, who's a fading TV star struggling to get roles. Brad Pitt plays his best friend, personal assistant, and also ex stunt double. I can't remember his name. um, You've also got a host of other stars in there. As I say, it's a difficult movie to describe plot-wise. You've got one story running along, which is basically Dalton and his psychic trying to regain the fame that they once had. Dalton was the star of a TV western called Bounty Law. And there were some clips made specially for, obviously, of Bounty Law. And to be honest, when I watch them, I'm not normally a fan of westerns, but I would love to see this series if it actually existed. So if Quentin, you're listening, let's have a few episodes of Bounty Law, yeah, because we'd love to see what that looks like. The other story running through it is it's a sinister one in the background. Is the Manson family. As I say, it's difficult to describe. It's a film that you have to watch. It is a work of fiction. It isn't factually accurate as far as what happened with the Manson family goes. The ending will tell you that it is not what actually happened. But it is such a brilliant film. There isn't a single second of screen time wasted. There isn't a single bad scene, as I can remember. And some of the cameos that you get in there. You've got Mama Cass at a party, looks the part, but the one that stands out more for me than anybody, and I had to look up who this was, I can't believe I didn't recognise him, is the guy that played Steve McQueen. He looked and sounded absolutely like Steve McQueen. He was played by Damian Lewis, who I remember from a series called Wolf Hall, which was set in the days of Henry VIII and all that sort of thing. But he's also done a series called Billions, which I now actually want to watch. But just watching him as Steve McQueen, if ever they do decide to do an actual biopic, screen biopic of Steve McQueen, I can't think of anybody better qualified to play him. He was superb. But if you get a chance to watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, please do. It is 3 hours long, but it's worth every second. I actually planned to watch it in two parts. I was going to watch sort of hour and a half one night, and the next morning I was going to watch the remaining hour and a half. But 90 minutes into it, from the scene where Brad Pitt picks up one of the Manson girls in town and drops her off at the ranch, and basically the way they are just glaring at him, it absolutely gripped me, and I had to see how it finished, and it was well worth it. The ending is as violent as hell. It's perfect Tarantino. It really is. It's almost as if the violence is pretty reserved for about the first 2 hours, and then for the last 45 minutes, it's like, right, now I'm going to let you have it, and boy does he ever let you have it. So yes, I would definitely recommend Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but watch it all in one go if you can. What else have we got here? I had this one through this week. I'm looking forward to watching this one. Trumbo. What's his name? Dalton Trumbo, one of Hollywood's top screenwriters, got caught up in the McCarthy witch hunts during was it the 50s or the 40s? 1947. And it's the story of how he overcame the fact that he was blacklisted and obviously wasn't allowed to work in Hollywood. I think he wrote the script for Spartacus, the Kirk Douglas film. So that's going to be worth a look. I'm really looking forward to that. And I had two films that I would describe as absolutely charming. Gregorys Girl, which I haven't seen for a long, long time, but is one of my all-time favourite films. The same as that one, Local Hero. Both of them are Bill Forsyth films. Both of them from the early 80s. Gentle comedies. That's the best thing, the best way that you can describe them, as they are gentle comedies. Beautiful films, made in a completely different era, so you will notice differences obviously between how things are done now. But I'm looking forward to watching those, and I will say a few words about those when I've actually got them watched. And a quick rant, and I'm going to go more into this in a separate video. Political correctness in movies. And somebody told me a few weeks ago, whatever you do in the early stages of your videos, don't do anything too controversial or anything like that. And I can almost see him behind the camera going, no, no, don't do it. But stuff it. This was on, well, I watched this earlier, Carry On Camping, can't go wrong, British comedy, absolute classic. Seen it hundreds of times, still funny as hell. And then this was on ITV3. I tuned in about 2-3 minutes into it. Carry On Henry, made in 1971. Sid James playing the role that he was born to play, Henry VIII. Oh, wow. ITV3 screened it. It was on early afternoon, probably about 1 o'clock. From about 8 minutes in, it was cut, and it was cut to shreds. There was dialogue cut out of it. There was a whole scene cut out of it. I won't go into too much detail now, but what the hell is wrong with these people? Are there really folks out there that are offended by this kind of thing? These movies are 50 years old, some of them 60 years old. And for some reason, the networks feel the need to censor them and cut them. Are people really that sensitive? Does anybody out there know anybody that would watch a Carry On film and basically say, oh, this is disgraceful, you shouldn't allow this? No, I really don't want to go into it now. It's too long. There are many other movies that I want to bring into it as well if we're talking about political correctness. I don't actually do political correctness. I don't believe in it. I was brought up in an era when we were basically taught to laugh at ourselves. You don't take things too seriously. Nowadays, you just can't say anything at all without somebody supposedly getting offended. But oh, come on, ITV3, 50 years old and a Carry On film. They're just good fun, for God's sake. What's the matter with you? More on that one at another time. Tonight's viewing, when the pizza arrives, this is England. My God, did I cop some flack the other week for mentioning that I'd not actually seen this. I thought, right, we've got to put that one right. So we ordered the Blu-ray. That is going to be watched in about an hour. I know very little about it apart from what's on the cover. It's a gang of skinheads, so we'll see how we go with that. And also, obviously, I had to order that. Sorry if it's reflecting on the screen a bit. I haven't even taken the cellophane off it yet. This is England, the 3 series, which is 86, 88 and 90. So after I've watched the movie, that is going to be watched in parts, obviously. I won't be watching all of that tonight. I think that's pretty much it for this week. I would love to ramble and waffle on about political correctness a little bit more, but I want to get a few more films in front of me and watch a couple of movies that I know are pretty controversial and figure out why, but for the life of me, I don't know why people would be offended by things like this. But let's see now. Enjoy your Saturday night. It looks as if this, I wasn't going to mention this, but it looks as if this pandemic thing might be slowly coming into control. So everybody stay safe and keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully by this time next year it'll all be a distant memory. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Oh, and welcome to the new subscribers, by the way. I believe one lady is named Kelly Work, and there's a guy from America, I can't remember his name, but he's subscribed this week. If you like the videos, please do give them a thumbs up. I really would appreciate that. And any new subscribers, just click on the subscribe button. I would very much appreciate that as well. I'll talk to you all again soon. Have a great night. Bye-bye.